Hi folks, welcome to the Wholly Regular ECY Shedcast, episode 20 possibly, I think. Probably should have checked that. 20, wow, that's quite a lot, isn't it? It's quite a lot of my face and my voice. Well, thank you if you've watched them all. And here's hoping for 20 more. So, this week, well, this past 2 weeks, because I missed last week, what with it being a regular and everything, we've been really busy, as always, and I say that, I feel like I've not actually got much to show for it, but busy with minis, so you can be doing an awful lot of work and an awful lot of yarn and not have that much actually to show. So, what's been happening? We've been dyeing and shipping up wholesale orders. That's been really good. So one has gone off to Italy this week. So do check our stockists list if you want to see if a yarn shop near you has our yarn. If they don't, you could suggest us to them. And if they do, then even better. So that's really good, that's exciting. It's particularly useful because I don't have to be photographing and kind of promoting that yarn. So it's quite a nice way to keep some money coming in and then allowing me to concentrate on, you know, the photography and the social media for the stuff that we're selling directly. And we try and keep it different as well so that there's variety. So yes, that's great, really satisfying. So that was last week, I can hardly even remember. I did a big update of Brimham High Twist mini skeins. That's the main thing that happened really. So I have those with me to show you. What else? There must be loads. We've been really busy and I can't even think. Today we've had a really good delivery actually as well, which I haven't put on social media yet, so I must get around to that. Today we have had a delivery of our much awaited Milburn double knit. So it was long awaited because some of the colours we ordered last September. Normally the turnaround time on these is like a matter of weeks, not months. So that's really, really good. It's a big relief to have those. So we've got like wicker. What else did I put away? More black tulip, which is similar to this. In fact, I have some here knitted up. I hope it looks okay in this light. Obviously it's dark now. Well, it's going dark, 4 o'clock. And I think the light in here is probably the best light for this, but it's very like bright, so you might get harsh shadows, but I'm hoping that the colour's not too bad. If it is, we've got a lamp with a daylight bulb in, so I can always bring that through for next time if the colours look a bit iffy. I shall take a look later. I'm just looking at the weather. It's atrocious, it's awful out there. I can see the trees in the garden waving around in the wind, and I think it's actually pouring down now. So I'm glad that I'm indoors. It's nice over winter though, when I'm in my dye shed, and it's nice and bright and cheerful in there, and it's sort of, well, I wouldn't quite say warm over the deepest winter, but it's warmish. And it kind of feels quite cosy, and I'm just in there kind of, you know, doing all these lovely colours and lovely yarns, and then the weather's really bad outside and I'm just kind of in there with this rainbow of colours. That's really nice. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted by the weather. That's so British, isn't it? So Milburn double knit, that's where I was at. So we have the colours back in stock that we have been waiting for in order to be able to sell Magic Circles kits. this is genuine coincidence, right? I actually have it here. In fact, you might have already seen it in last week's, in the last episode, because I had it hung on the radiator then as well, because I keep using it. So this is Magic Circles, if you've not seen it already. It's a pattern by Janie Crowfoot. Well, I'm never quite sure whether it's Jane or Janie and Crow or Crowfoot. I think it's Jane Crowfoot, but she often goes by Janie Crow as well. I'm sure you know who I mean if you know her. Laura will probably correct me in the show notes, hopefully. That's the inside. That's why there's ends sticking out. That's the outside. So there you go. It's quite heavy, being done in double knit. I made this one last Christmas over the holiday. I enjoyed it so much. There you go. So you make stacks of these big circles, and then you make stacks of the little circles, and then you make stacks of the filler, like spokes, and then you make stacks of semicircles as well, big ones and the small ones. Oh, and some corners, and then you put it all together, which is a lot easier than I expected, and then you go around the edge. In the pattern, it has tiny little pom-poms on it, which I never got around to doing and probably never will at this point. So, I mean, it's a hell of a piece, isn't it? You sort of flick it back like that. But this kind of hangs around, like in the kitchen, sometimes on the back of the sofa, just wherever I need it, wherever I want to be looking at it, because it's nice to keep it out and be able to look at it. So it did work up quite quickly actually, because I was doing it over the holidays, but it was the only thing I was doing. It is quite a big project, but it is, honestly, it's so much easier than it looks. So anyway, that's Magic Circles. This is the black tulip version. The original version has Autumn Fields in it. Autumn Fields is the gold colour of Milburn, which was discontinued quite a while ago, but it is in the original pattern. So we've replaced it with black tulip or compost, which, oh, seriously, that was coincidence. That's compost. So you can choose either the black tulip or compost versions for version 1. And then also, last year, we were out of the Althea, which is the pale pink, the dusky pink, for ages. So we came up with a version 2. And version 2 has the Althea replaced with either natural or rain. And if you look on the website, you'll see that I made examples of the circles so that you can see how they look. I didn't make a whole new wrap, it has to be said, but I did make samples of the circles. So the upshot of all that is that Magic Circles is back in stock. We do sell the patterns as well if you want to buy both. There's only a handful left, but I've got more on order, so if the patterns sell out, don't worry, we'll get more in very soon. But Jane sells them as well, as you might expect. So that's exciting. But also in that delivery, and which I haven't brought down from the stockroom with me, is we have the brand new Milburn double knit in Azalea as well today. So that is really exciting. It is so long overdue. And to be honest, I kind of forgotten that we were waiting for it because it's been so long. It's bright zingy pink, so as you might imagine, it was meant to be here over the summer, like spring, summer. So yeah, we've been waiting a while for that. That's really exciting. It's available on the website. I wasn't able to get new pictures this morning, so we've used the pictures of the 4-ply, but I mean, it's the same colour, it's just thicker yarn. So I shall update the photos of that as soon as I get a chance, and we'll be able to put that in yarn packs and things like that as well. So that's exciting. What else has happened? I tell you what, shall I go through our latest update? What time is it? So it's just gone 4 o'clock, right? And the reason I'm just watching the time is my other half is due home at probably about past. And when he gets home, the dogs will go absolutely crackers, and they're just in the other room. So what I'm aiming to do is to finish this either before he gets back or when he gets back, and then you can witness the chaos, because that would be a delight, wouldn't it? So let's crack on. So the latest update was the Brimham High Twist mini skeins. So these are 20 gram mini skeins. Let me just give you the stats. So we've got 85% superwash extra fine merino, 15% nylon. So this is a really good sock yarn. It's nice and sturdy. I hope you can see that nicely. Really nice and sturdy, but soft as well. You know, I don't do things that I can't wear. That would be a bit silly, really, wouldn't it? And I did a good 15 colours, and I also did some I did some fade bundles. So this is the Tide Fade. In fact, that's probably better if I take the label off. So this is Tide Fade. There we go, you can see that. But you'll notice there are only 4 skeins in this mini skein bundle instead of the usual 5. That's because Muggins here had a certain number of skeins, and what I should have done was tied up bundles of 4 skeins a piece instead of 5 skeins a piece, so that I could have done 4 bundles of 5, and actually what I did was 5 bundles of 4, because I was an automatic pilot. So those are the mini skein fade bundles. So that's tied. So let's pop that over there. But I mean, I also actually accidentally did Tide separately as well. So let's take a look at the colours, shall we? So since we're on Tide, let's look at the other greens. There's Woodland and Cedar and Calamondin. Now the Calamondin, I must admit, came out brighter than I expected. I've still not worked out why, but it's hand-dyed yarn, isn't it? So it's normally slightly more earthy than that, to be honest. But anyway, I think it works really well. I like it with the other greens, and I like lime and teal together as well. So those are the greens. I did some like autumny colours. We have Rust, Twig, Marigold, Oatfields. Oh, one of them's sold out. I did Falling Leaves as well, but that's sold out. Is it? Yeah, it is. That means I can't show you one of the bundles that I put together. I actually did put these together as a bundle alongside with Falling Leaves as well, which is like a light goldy colour. It goes well with this one, Twig. So those bundles will be sold out now actually, but these 4 are still lovely together, aren't they? And then a couple of greys. We have Granite, which has got the black dapples, and I actually did Coal, which is just black, because occasionally you just need black yarn. And actually, do you know what, on the High Twist, that's really satisfying. I don't know why, it just is. And then another neutral Driftwood. And then finally I did Damson, which has come out fairly greyish, Wild Raspberry, and Heliotrope. So that's those 3 together. And then the other bundle that I put together was, in fact, can I even remember what it was? I think it was those, that, what else did it have with it? It was those four, and I think it was Damson maybe. Anyway, even if it wasn't, they are lovely together. So yeah, oh, was it Coal? But again, that works really well, doesn't it? So I've done quite a lot of rich and dark colours here, and the reason is that the full size skeins of Brimham High Twist that we have in stock are mostly light summery colours because they're from a summer update. So I was thinking that if I did lots of kind of rich and dark colours on the minis, then if you're buying minis to go with the full size skeins, you've got a good amount of contrast potentially going on. You know, there's quite a lot of blues in, which would look really cool. So like if you're making socks, blue socks with black toes would look really cool. And then there's like Tide, which would work really well. So that's why, but also kind of a time of year thing as well. I think I tend to lean towards the richer colours at this time of year. It's just the mood that I'm in, I suppose, at the moment. Like every day, update that I'm doing, it seems to be including like Damson, Tide, Black Magic Rose, Rust, of course. I love Rust. Quite a lot of Marigold, a lot of Cedar. So it's, yeah, Woodland. So it's just, you know, where the wind takes me, really. So, yeah, what time is it? Okay, we're doing all right. No howling dogs yet. That means Daddy isn't home yet. So that's the Brimham High Twist minis. And, oh, that's a nice combination. Heliotrope and Driftwood. Very nice. Heliotrope, Driftwood and Twig. Oh yes, nice and autumnal, but not like overtly so. Not quite like the bundle that I had, which was like super autumnal. So I've got those. What else have we got? I mean, the black would look really cool with like Rust and or Marigold. Oh. And then Oatfields. I dye quite a lot of it. It's not actually that popular, but I really like it. The pale orange. It looks amazing with Rust, but it goes really well. Like pale orange goes really well with your greens, especially your earthy greens like Woodland. I mean, that's just gorgeous. Not Cedar. What am I looking for? Tide. You see, look at that. Oatfields and Tide. Good amount of contrast there, that's really nice. And then Granite, I mean, it's basically grey, but it's nice to have a grey sometimes that's got a bit of interest to it, hence the black dapples. A lot of the time I will go for plain grey, but sometimes, like I say, it's just nice to have a bit of something extra. They're lovely together, aren't they? Granite, and that one's Heliotrope. Just checking I've got the right pink there. Let's take a look at, so we've got Damson and Cedar, and then Damson and Woodland. Yeah, Damson, Woodland and Calamondin. Ooh, oh yeah, I'm liking that. What if you add a pink to that? Let's see what happens to that. I think you pink, that's Wild Raspberry. Let's try it next to the purple, see how that changes the palette. Yeah, I like that. That lifts it in a different way to that. That's quite a nice balanced palette, that. So yeah, there's plenty to go at. Driftwood and Woodland. I must admit at the moment my attention is very much turning to making small cute things. Little cotton rabbits keeps recently popping up in my feed and reminding me that I still haven't made one despite following her for all these years. And I like to crochet garlands, so I'd quite like to crochet a Christmassy garland at the moment. It's just something in my head. And mini skeins are ideal for stuff like that. So I am busy putting together a Pinterest board for ideas to make with mini skeins. I think I've put quite a lot of stuff in there already, but do check us out on Pinterest. If you look up Eden Cottage Yarns, you should find us. I've started completely afresh in order to, because I already had an account, but in order to wipe out all the Ravelry links, because of course they're hidden a lot of the time, I just deleted the account and started again, which is quite a nice thing to do actually. So I have a Pinterest board for things like mini skeins, yarnlings. I've got favourite designers. So again, if you want to suggest any, do let me know in the comments below, because I shall add those. And all sorts of other boards. There's loads of ideas in there, so do take a look, because it's sort of, we do a lot of blog posts of that type as well, but the Pinterest board is that bit more, I don't know, the layout's a bit different, isn't it? It's good to have both really. So that's what we've been up to. The other thing is I finished my shawlography. It is about to be washed and blocked, so I don't have it with me, but I will show it you as soon as it's dry from being blocked. So I should be pinning that out straight after work tonight. So that's exciting. I did a slight tweak on the border as well, so I'm looking forward to showing you that. The next thing that I'm doing, which flew straight on the needles, is I'm doing another Lucky Dip cowl. This is the 4-ply one. I've worn this loads because it currently lives in the kitchen, from having been photographed and everything, and then taking it off and never actually putting it away anywhere. So I keep wearing it, but it's just a good thickness. Actually, I should put the ends at the back, shouldn't I? It's just a good thickness when it's 4-ply at this time of year. It just keeps the draft off my, especially the back of my neck. But anyway, double knit one is now in progress. Only just started. I'll tell you what, I got a lot more ribbing out of that first yarnling than I expected to. And then I'm doing my thin stripes in compost, which is why I have it here. And then these are the colours that I have. Okay. So they shall come out of the project bag in a completely random order. So I'm enjoying that. It's a good little project, nice and simple and easy to be doing after something so big and complicated like shawlography. So yeah, I'm keen to crack on with that, to be honest. And I've got so much else that I want to do. I mean, that is always the case, but there's just so much else that I want to do. So I'm like, I just want to make all the things. That's the compost that I'm using as the thin stripes there. So yeah, and then that'll be a free pattern at some point as well. And I realised that circumference looks tiny, but it's not. It's done at quite a loose gauge. So by the time that's been washed, look, you can see how stretchy it is. By the time it's been washed, that should be roughly this circumference. And actually, talking of things that I've been wearing and just haven't put away, I thought I'd just show you this. Completely random, but it's inspiring me, and I'm wearing it a lot again at the moment, so I just thought I'd show you. This is the Muse cowl, as in M-U-S-E, by Sarah McFall, who is also known as Yarn and Blarney. This is made in Milburn 4-ply, and that's a lovely quick crochet project. So I've been wearing that quite a lot as well because it's that lovely lightweight fabric that I really like at this time of year on my neck. So yeah, and also having it out is reminding me that I would so like to make, and well, I didn't make this one, but I'd like to make another one in completely different colours. In fact, it would be perfect in minis. Like, how many colours are there? 5. So, oh God, this is just perfect. So, oh yeah, you could totally do like that. Or maybe you'd want to swap the woodland for cedar, perhaps. Or coal. Oh, coal. That would look really cool. Maybe swap the wild raspberry for, ooh, rust. Let's go bold. Let's be bold. Yeah. So yeah, actually they would be perfect. So completely random interjection there, but it's been hanging around in the kitchen because again I keep wearing it, so I thought I might as well include it as a bit of inspiration. So I'll quickly tell you what we've got coming up as well. First thing, and these are fresh off the heated airer, fresh off the skein winder, literally finished 5 minutes before I started recording this. We have Brimham 4-ply mini skein fade bundles. So we've got the monochrome fade, which is the charcoal fade. Well, they're actually technically monochrome anyway, aren't they? Charcoal fade. We have the tarn fade. We have the clematis fade. This was used in Helda's transference shawl, crocheted shawl pattern. So that's why I've done that colour. And then this one, I've called it Vintage Autumn Leaves Fade because it goes from sort of dusky pink right through into autumn leafy gold. So I won't just unband them right now, but I will be photographing them like properly laid out so that you can see the fades properly. But yeah, so I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with those. So as soon as they're photographed, they will go up on the website, and yeah, I can't wait to get those up, to be honest. It's ages since I've done any fades, apart from my failed 4 skein fade. That doesn't count. So that's coming up, and then after that we have a big Rosedale 4-ply update coming. It's full-size skeins and 20-gram minis. Mostly full-size skeins, to be honest. It felt like I was doing loads of minis, but actually now that I've got them all gathered up, it doesn't seem that many. 100 minis, is that a lot? I don't know. So yeah, big gold sparkly update coming very soon. Again, it's as soon as I photographed it. So I'm hoping to do that early next week. It's going to be a big job, so it might take a few days. So bear with us, but that will be up ASAP. I think with that one, what we'll do is put it in the secret webpage to begin with. So we've got a secret webpage on the website. It's for newsletter subscribers and Facebook group members only. And it means that they can have first dibs on the big updates before they go live to the public. And it's just a way of saying thank you to people for being in our Facebook group and for being in our newsletter. I think I've mentioned this before, actually. So if you're interested in that, please make sure that you're on the newsletter and or in the Facebook group, which is called the ECY Garden. We'll put links below to both of those. So yeah, next week, big week of photography and inspiration and new yarn. I've done some festive fun as well, you might be interested to know. So yeah, very, very excited about that. I can't wait to get it all going. It's currently all sat in the office inboxes waiting its chance. So that's the next big thing. We've got, let me think. We've got Pendle Chunky coming. We've got what have I even just been doing like today? Keswick double knit coming. That's the tweed. There's also the fingering and Aran weight as well, but I'm starting with the double knit because, and this is another thing that I need to make sure to mention, Natalie Warner, aka Natalie in Stitches, if you don't know her already, has released a lovely pattern today. It's a pair of leg warmers, and they are in Keswick double knit in Meadowroo, which is pink. And they've got a really lovely lace and cable pattern going up the leg. And her pictures are really cool. She's done some pictures where she's like in ballet poses with them on. They look really cool. So look her up on Instagram if you don't already follow her. So yeah, inspired by that, I thought I'd best do some more of the Keswick double knit because we don't have very much left at the moment. So I'm trying to crack on with that. In fact, I'm going to go and finish that off for the next half hour when I finish recording this. So that's that coming soon. Another thing that I'm keen to do, and it's in progress, is a Coniston fingering update. That's the Merino Mohair singles yarn. So that's coming soon too. Oh, I can't even think what else. There's just so much. I just want to do all the yarns in all the colours and just, yeah, all of it. I just want to do all of it. But obviously time is a little bit limited. And also I'm kind of working quite slowly at the moment because I'm still having a lot of trouble with my foot. So just please carry on bearing with us, and thank you for doing so already as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Have I mentioned what I wanted to mention? Yeah, I think I pretty much have. Got all the vitals in, I think. I'll probably finish and then remember some glaring thing that I forgot. But anyway, if I do, it'll come up next week. So I'm going to leave it at that. You don't get to hear howling dogs this week yet, I'm afraid. One day I will video it though. It's sort of quite something. But anyway, I shall leave it there for this week, and I shall get this uploaded and go and rinse some tweed. Get that up on the heated air. Oh, lovely. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me waffling on about yarn, and hopefully see you next week. Bye.